Hello guys and welcome back to Riderz. Today we've got 2013 Suzuki V-STROM. I'll pass you over to the owner now and he'll tell you some more about it.
Hi, my name's Tim and this is my 2013 Suzuki V-STROM 650. I bought it in 2014. It was an ex-dealer demonstrator bike. In 2018 I decided that what this bike needed was a suit of armour and for me and my wife to go around the world. So we did exactly that. This is my bike with its suit of armour on. As you see, it had crash bars, it had big aluminium panniers, an enormous bag for my wife's stuff, a tank bag for me, and a sat nav on the front. And we set off. This picture is actually taken in New Zealand. We did 38,000 miles, and amazingly, we didn't even get a puncture. This bike has 7,500 mile service intervals, and we always made sure it got serviced. At a dealer, so I've got some interesting stamps in my service book. There are dealers around the world that service these engines, so you never have a problem if you choose a Japanese bike and decide you want to go off around the world about getting it serviced at sensible prices. We changed the tyres when they looked like they were getting a bit low rather than risking it, so trying to avoid punches, which seemed to work. The great thing about this bike, apart from its reliability, is its comfort. This is the standard seat. I've replaced it because the other one got very tatty, but I'm replaced it with another standard seat. But the two of us were sitting on this thing for up to 17 hours a day, some days. We had a TomTom sat-nav, which covered most of the world, but not all of the world. For the bits that didn't cover, we bought a local mobile phone and strapped it to here with some bits of inner tube and downloaded some offline maps. Would I ever sell it? No, not never. Would I replace it with something else? I can't see the point. I still love riding this thing today. We did 38,000 miles going around the world, and I couldn't think of anything better to do it on. We came across other people with very expensive branded bikes who were carrying spare parts because they knew they would fail. And they said to me, "What are you carrying?" I said, "An oil filter." I said, "I haven't used it yet." They always have them. And they said, "Well, what's gone wrong in it?" "Nothing. It's a Suzuki. They don't go wrong." It's got a lovely V-twin 650 engine, really smooth, no vibes in the mirrors. And we, as I say, we're doing anything up to 400 miles in a day. We try to do it half that, but some days you just have to. Without any problems at all. Kazakhstan was the most amazing place, apart from New Zealand, that we went to. And we plan to go back next year. We didn't quite finish the trip. I had a bit of an off, which is my fault. So the plan is to go back next year to Baku and finish the ride back to the UK by some interesting routes, of course. This is the second generation one. I like this one the best because it's the more road orientated looking one. It doesn't look like it's trying to be some other off-roady type bike. But they've suddenly got better over the years. This one's got ABS. It's got a more efficient, reliable engine. As I say, it will do 260 miles between fill-ups. And my trip computer, when we're pootling around, says we're doing 70 miles per gallon. The newer ones have, again, more safety aid equipment and slightly tweaked on their fuel economy, and they've got a fuel gauge meter, which this doesn't have. There's little blobs, and the meter would be nice. But other than that, it's pretty unburstable. They're relatively cheap, to be honest. A bike like this is about £3,000, and for the money you can't go wrong with them. Provided they've been looked after. This one has obviously been looked after, but it's also been abused. Finish is reasonably okay. It's perhaps not up to Honda standard, but it's pretty good. And in terms of service parts, everything is relatively cheap. Lots of people change the screens because the standard screen's rubbish. Lots of people change the mirrors because the standard mirrors are rubbish. Huge range of luggage. This is about the third lot of different luggage I've had on this bike. Again, you can get stuff without paying a fortune for them. Standard 19-inch front, 17-inch rear. Again, you've got a huge range of choice. I've got Bridgestones on at the moment, but my personal preference is the Michelin's. We didn't really have a problem with getting tyres, and we might have to swap brands now and again, but generally everything was available whenever we went. And as I say, apart from he gets a visit now to a dealer once a year for a service and MOT, and it ticks the box and goes out again. A thoroughly amazing bike, and one which, when we set off, we thought, well, if it gets us back in one piece, it'll be fine. We were expecting to sort of trash this thing and have to dump it and fly home, and of course it survived. It survived everything that we threw at it, and more. So it was a phenomenal bike. And as I say, I have no desires to ever sell it, and we go back next year and finish the job. Emission control means that engines like this V-twin are going to be phased out. There won't be a V-STROM in the future. So if you are thinking of something and want something a bit original that isn't a normal twin-cylinder bike, then buy a V-STROM today while you can.